You're watching the news summary on Kazakh TV. I'm Zhana Sagandikova, and today we'll review the major news of this week from Kazakhstan. Nursultan Nazarbayev received credentials from the UNDP Resident Representative in Kazakhstan, as well as the extraordinary and plenipotentiary ambassadors of Israel, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan and Thailand. Kazakh president noticed that Kazakhstan has had long-lasting relations with all these countries, with gross points being agriculture and medicine, energy and logistics, tourism and high technologies. Nursultan Nazarbayev underlined that this year Kazakhstan is going to celebrate the 25th anniversary of its independence. Over the past years, the state has undergone through many changes. Having a modern market economy, Kazakhstan advocates a political stability and inter-ethnic harmony. Nursultan Nazarbayev also stressed that Kazakhstan supports the joint program in the Semir region under the United Nations Development Program. Israeli businessmen were kindly welcomed to take an active participation in Expo 2017.
At present, 270 Israeli enterprises are operating in Kazakhstan. We have to develop cooperation in all directions amid the current global crisis. Promising areas are those related to information technologies, innovation, medicine, and agriculture. Taking into account the upcoming international exhibition Expo 2017, advanced Israeli technology and know-how in the field of alternative energy are of great interest to us.
Recently,
Kazakhstan has celebrated a new holiday, Gratitude Day. For us, this date became another opportunity to thank the people of Kazakhstan for their hospitality towards the Jews who were relocated during the Great Patriotic War to Kazakhstan.
Thousands of Karaganda miners and railroad workers, Pavlodar metallurgists and power engineers, Kostanay miners and Atyrau oil producers got together in Pavlodar, where President Nursultan Nazarbayev participated in the Republican Forum of Labor Collectives as part of his working visit to the region.
Karaganda miners and railroad workers, Pavlodar metallurgists and power engineers, Kostanay miners and Atyrau oil producers, more than 4,000 in total best representatives of labor collectives from all over the country gathered in the Az Palace. It is hard work of these people that shapes the country's economy in the mines, factories and plants. Nursultan Nazarbayev is familiar with the routine of ordinary workers. The president always emphasizes that he has special attitude to a labor man.
Я точно знаю, что вся жизнь держится трудом рабочего человека. I
know that all life depends on labor of a working man and develops only due to labor. Of course, today I direct young people, I call them to learn and finish educational institutions, including the higher ones. Everything we see in life, all the work is done by a man of labor, and people can become famous in any sphere. It's just necessary to try in every case to achieve perfection, to become a professional.
Надо стараться в каждом деле достигнуть совершенства, стать профессионалом.
The world is experiencing an unprecedented financial crisis. Stock markets collapsed and international trade has slowed down. Transnational companies had to curtail production and cut jobs. Kazakhstan was affected by the global crisis as well. The main export commodities such as oil and metals are experiencing a collapse in prices, but the anti-crisis policy that became the country's industrialization has already yielded results.
Знаю, что для человека труда самое главное сохранить рабочий.
I know the most important thing for the working man is to preserve the job. You can explain these difficulties, get over or reduce the working week. You can find another job to survive until the crisis is over. But you should keep the jobs for them, especially in their professional sphere. Therefore now, mayors' offices and leading enterprises signed memorandums on saving jobs in all regions. Employers participate in the local programs to retrain workers for new professions.
Участие работодателей в местных программах переобучения рабочих новым специальностям.
Some 60,000 people will get their jobs as part of the employment roadmap, while the industrial sector will receive a boost. These include non-ferrous metallurgy, oil and gas, energy, manufacturing spheres. There will be enough work if the responsible local ownership will come to its functionality. The main thing is to find the way in the stream of new opportunities and to achieve professional heights at work. Nursultan Nazarbayev appealed with this advice to young workers, but at the same time advised not to work to detriment the health and family.
Такую шутку вспомнил. В народе говорят, что человек должен иметь хорошую работу.
I remember a joke people say that you should have a good job and a good family to hurry from work home and rest well. Also, traditionally, you should have a good mother-in-law to go to work with pleasure. The moral of the story is to work and rest with pleasure.
Мораль такая из этого. И работать, отдыхать с большим удовольствием.
At the time when the world is embroiled in wars and hundreds of people die every day, Kazakhstan progressively carries out all social and infrastructure projects. The state follows its commitments, and it is an important indicator of economic stability. International experts around the world have noted that Kazakhstan has become an example for many, since representatives of dozens of nationalities live in peace and harmony here. This is the merit of each citizen of our country and a great responsibility, the head of state said.
Мы спокойно работаем, спокойно смотрим на будущее, спокойно за будущее своих детей.
We work peacefully and look to the future with confidence. We don't worry about the future of our children. Every citizen of Kazakhstan has bread to eat on the table and has everything he or she needs in the household. And we do our best so that everyone would have a roof over the head. There is work, the opportunity to educate children, to create a family, raise children and grandchildren, and to treat our people in the best clinics. Is this not the most important thing for a person? I think it is. We are confident about the future plans. We always need to be aware of the price of our unity, stability, and always cherish it. Peace today is like a fragile glass house where everyone has to take care of each other and respect each other. We need to appreciate the simple human pleasures, a peaceful sky over your head, safety, health, and opportunity to educate your children.
Мирное небо над головой, безопасность, здоровье.
The speech of the president sounded like words of edification. The audience carefully listened to every word of the president. Each of those present had the opportunity to stop for a moment, think about important things, and decide something about life, what happiness and well-being reflect, and why it is important to build it independently.
Есть такая притча, как известно, Бог слепил человека из глины, да, мы все знаем. И когда...
As one well-known parable says, God created man from clay. When God had the last piece of clay, he asked the man what he wanted to receive from that last piece. A man asked God to create happiness for him. Then God took a piece of clay and put it into the hands of the man. This means that man builds his own happiness, makes his future by his own means. Happiness is when you do everything yourself and do not ask for anything in return.
Счастье — это когда ты все сделал сам, а не получил как подарок от чего-то, от кого-то. И это надо помнить.
Workers of different professions appealed to their colleagues from the Ice Palace speaking roster.
Нелегкие для нашего предприятия годы. Вы лично занимались судьбой завода.
You personally guided the work of our plant in the difficult times, and this is the factor of thousands of people and families, the stronghold of the region, and we are so grateful for your help.
Очень благодарны вам за вашу заботу. Наше будущее мы связываем только с вами.
Спасибо вам за ваше чуткое отношение к людям труда, за ваши встречи с нами, работниками.
Thank you for your attention to workers, for your meetings with our industrial enterprises employees. We are grateful that you drive Kazakhstan on the way to unity, stability, development, and prosperity.
И поэтому 20 марта вся наша семья пойдет голосовать за партию Нуротан.
After the forum, the president visited one of the local hypermarkets. During his work and visits, Nursultan Nazarbayev took the time to check how pricing policy works in regions and if domestic producers are supported or not at the same time. There's a wide range of goods offered on this 8,000 square meter site. The main emphasis is put on local content.
Прежде всего, этот магазин Greenwich – это жесткий дискаунтер, в котором, естественно, товары...
First of all, Greenwich store is a hard discounter in which the goods are presented to such lowest wholesale prices. Many restaurants, cafes, and bars of the city buy in Greenwich. Well, of course, people see this and also buy stuff, and I often call Greenwich a great social shop.
Это тоже, я думаю, что очень сильно выигрывает. Я его часто называю большой социальный магазин.
The president inspected the shelves with products, wondered where the food was produced and how it was produced, but the head of state was interested not only in price tags, but also the opinion of ordinary customers.
Красный хлеб. Вы знаете, мы третий год уже сюда ездим, и по цене хороший, всегда свежий. Мы городские, я с города, с Павлодара.
А это не город разве?
Нет, я имею в виду, в этот магазин ездим. В этот магазин ездим всегда. И много местной продукции здесь всегда. Все свежее. Хлеб отличный.
И дешевле.
Bypassing long rows, Nursultan Nazarbayev stopped near a fresh batch stall.
Блинчик. Готовые? Конечно. Тарелочка. Вот тарелочка. Надо научиться блины делать. Супер. Сколько с меня?
На кассе оплата у нас.
In a conversation with local entrepreneurs, the president stressed that agriculture is Kazakhstan's profitable sector of the economy and has the advantages. Now the main thing is to invest in the industry. This is what farmers were advised to do by the country's leader. To give moral support to producers, the head of state urged Kazakhstan citizens to vote with money for domestic goods.
Я, может, не платить денег, наверное.
У нас здесь самый дешевый магазин, так что скидки.
Столько набрал, дарованные будет.
That's how the president of Kazakhstan showed that domestic products are cheaper and no worse than their foreign analogs. And in order to produce even better and more local entrepreneurs need to only support of a potential customer to make their products even better in quality.
Kazakh Secretary of State Gulshara Abdikalikova met with the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon in New York. The international initiatives of the President of Kazakhstan, their implementation, as well as Kazakhstan's achievement in gender equality were high on the meeting agenda. As the site noted, Kazakhstan will undoubtedly continue ensuring equal economic opportunities for women.
Ban Ki-moon expressed the deepest respect to Nursultan Nazarbayev and sent greetings to peace-loving people of Kazakhstan. The same day, Gulshara Abdikalikova discussed preparation process for the Expo 2017 with Administrator of the United Nations Development Program, Helen Clark. Kazakh Secretary of State also met with representatives of business circles of the United States. U.S. entrepreneurs were offered to invest in the economy of Kazakhstan. Earlier, Abdikalikova met with U.S. Deputy Secretary of State for Civilian Security, Democracy and Human Rights, Sarah Sewall. The sides discussed bilateral cooperation among other issues. Abdikalikova presented the main provisions of the National Plan 100 Steps. In addition, Kazakh Secretary of State delivered a speech at one of the leading U.S. research institutions at the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars. Also, she took part in the gala reception of the international NGO global partnership Vital Voices. Despite the intense program, Abdikalikova met with Kazakh students studying as part of the Bolshak Scholarship Program. Later, the Secretary of State attended a celebration of the Nowruz holiday in Washington, where she delivered a speech at a gala reception. Guests of the event, representatives of the White House, State Department, and Congress, as well as businessmen and diplomats, had a chance to learn the traditions and cultures of the Turkic countries and the Middle Eastern states. Kazakhstan's display exhibited various books, souvenirs, artwork, and items of folk art masters. The visitors also tried Kazakh national dishes. Addressing the guests of the gala reception in Washington, Abdikalikova told about the special features of the holiday and its traditions.
It
is a lovely springtime tradition that is celebrated in Washington, far away from our homeland. I take this opportunity to congratulate Kazakhstani brotherly people on Nowruz holiday on behalf of Azerbaijan. I wish welfare, joy, and spring happiness. I congratulate you on Nowruz.
The Unified National Qualification System is to be introduced in the country. The project will aim to developing skills and create more jobs. It was noted that some 550 professional standards and 173 educational programs will be developed as part of the project. According to the Kazakh Ministry of Health and Social Development, the activity of employment centers will be reviewed throughout the country. In addition, colleges will be equipped with new training devices. The World Bank is set to allocate $100 million to the program, and the rest, $37 million will be financed by the government. According to the forecast, the project will help to restrain the unemployment rate below 5% in the next few years.
We have trained more than 2,000 production employees in these colleges, which then will train the unemployed and self-employed population. Almost 11 billion tenge will be allocated for the training of our citizens. We are planning to attract about 25 to 28,000 people for training over the next 5 years.
Новым специальностям это будет краткосрочное обучение до 6 месяцев.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Kazakhstan intends to facilitate visa travel of Kazakh citizens to Europe, as well as achieve the abolition of consular fees for students. As reported at a meeting of the Senate committee, such changes will be possible after the ratification of the agreement on expanded partnership between Kazakhstan and the European Union.
Первый шаг – это получение статуса виза facilitation. Это является облегчением поездок для граждан. То есть выдача в упрощенном порядке виз.
The first step is to receive visa facilitation status. This is a relief for the citizens. That is, the issuing of visas in a simplified manner to the EU. It is supposed to simplify the list of documents for our citizens, exemption of certain categories such as minor children, students and elderly people. At the same time, reduction of the review time, the issuance of visas.
Освободить от визовых пошлин. А в то же время сокращение времени рассмотрения выдачи виз.
In addition, an action plan to facilitate process of the national legislation with the European Union requirements regarding visa policy and immigration was adopted last year. Experts know that this is a lengthy process. However, obtaining a visa-free status would be the next step for Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan continues to develop its transport infrastructure. The neighboring countries showed interest in the modernization of the transport potential of Kazakhstan.
According to international analysts, now Central Asia is becoming an important bridge between China and Europe. Through the new highways, delivery time of goods will be reduced to 3.5 times. Through railway lines, delivery time will be reduced up to 10 days. In addition, infrastructure projects implemented by Kazakhstan are a powerful impetus for the development of transport potential of the entire region. Launch of tourism project along the Silk Road, the launch of an international financial center which will provide financial cooperation will contribute not only in Kazakhstan but also in the region and will expand trade and cooperation with all the other countries. Among major projects of Kazakhstan are the railway line China, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Iran, and the highway Western Europe, Western China. These transit corridors already bring profit to the budget. Moreover, not just roads are built, unified logistics system with a high level of security, quality, service, and unprecedented speed of delivery of cargoes and goods. The geopolitical location of the region at the center of the Eurasian continent defines its role as a continental bridge between East and West. Now everything depends on how the countries of the region will be able to take advantage of new strategic advantages.
Kazakhstan is of immense importance to Iran. It is a very major country. The very fact that it hosted the P5+1 negotiations shows the importance that Iran links it to Iran's own well-being.
On the basis of geography, mostly Kazakhstan, China, and Russia are interested in the creation of a single transport corridor. However, it is through Kazakhstan the highways will diverge in all strategic areas, through the northern route to Russia and EU countries, through the Caspian Sea and the Caucasus to Turkey and Iran, and from there markets in the Persian Gulf will be opened.
Казахстан крайне удачно географически расположен.
Geographical location of Kazakhstan is very convenient. In the north, there's the Russian outdoor market. In the east, China's huge investment opportunities. Therefore, these are extremely thoughtful initiatives of the Kazakh leadership. We must think not only about transport, but also about production.
Мы, конечно, должны думать не только о транспорте, но и о производстве.
Presidents have agreed on creation of new transportation corridor across the Caspian Sea, and now here we were going to exchange our ideas regarding these projects, how to further improve those projects, and how to deepen cooperation among our countries.
The countries of the Common Transit Corridor aim to expand the sphere of road building potential. Modern infrastructure, which would appear along the highway, is a good stimulus for the development of almost all sectors of the economy, say experts.
A single electronic database for orphans and adoptive parents will be created in 2017. A little more than 8,000 out of 5 million children are living in orphanages today.
The database will include children's names, ages, and habits. According to developers, this will help potential adoptive parents choose a child. Personal photos of children will be also in open access. However, the surname and state of health of children will not be available.
Будет база данных единая.
There will be a single database along with a list of children who can be adopted. Database will feature a list of parents who want to adopt. There is a relevant law that will make the procedure of adoption transparent. It will be strictly controlled by the authorized bodies of Kazakhstan.
Регулируется. Теперь не будет. Вот сегодня захотел, сегодня побежал и установил.
Founder of the well-known fund called Mercy, Aruzhan Sain, helps parents without children to find their babies and adopt them. Public organization has its own database. Today it has about 4,500 children, and 500 children in total have been already adopted so far. The fund's staff believes that for safe and efficient operation of the system, it is necessary to ensure the joint work of three ministries: the Education Ministry, Health and Social Development, and Internal Affairs.
Нынешняя система учета – это абсолютно разрозненная.
The current accounting system is totally disparate. It is incomprehensible to anyone to check what is happening there. The country needs a single system which will allow everyone to track each step of state bodies in respect of a child left without parental care. In this case, rights of the child will no longer be violated.
У нас перестанут нарушаться права ребенка.
To ensure a worthy life of children, the inspectors will be informed about the fate of children in a foster family. In addition, the draft law stipulates the priority right of Kazakhstanis in adoption, placing foreign families second in consideration. According to various sources, about 8,000 families in Kazakhstan dream of taking the child from the orphanages.
Several companies will be established jointly with Israel. Among them is a coal chemical industrial complex for the production of methanol, ferroalloys and polypropylene. Various similar other projects were presented in Tel Aviv. The total cost will total more than $3 billion. A solar power station with a capacity of 200 megawatts and coal-fired power plant of 400 megawatts will be constructed in Kazakhstan as part of these projects that are hoped to create jobs for more than 3,500 people.
Это будет углехимический комплекс, там будет, значит, электростанция.
It will be coal chemical industrial complex. There will be a powerhouse, a plant for production of methanol, gasoline, diesel, carbamide, and polyethylene. This is a huge project involving Israeli partners, the South Korean, Chinese companies, and Kazakhstan.
Китайская, вот, ну и, значит, мы будем участвовать там.
Мы считаем, что условия благоприятные, потому что правительство понимает.
We think that there are favorable conditions in Kazakhstan, as the government knows, and there is support from administration and experts on the one hand, and they understand the requirements of investors in order to come with bank capital in the country. There are significant advantages of Kazakhstan in comparison with other countries in the same region, so Kazakhstan differs more from the better side.
С многими другими странами этого же региона. Так что явно Казахстан выделяется в лучшую сторону.
Kazakhstan will start producing low-weight gold bullions. One of the refining plants in the country is planning to acquire the technological line that will produce ingots weighing from 1 to 100 grams, which should spur interest among jewelry and ordinary citizens. Meanwhile, all the products of 3 Kazakh refineries are purchased exclusively by the National Bank to replenish foreign exchange reserves. Last year alone, the plants produced 30 tons of gold, which is by 15% more than in 2014. In addition, before the end of this year, it is planned to refine nearly 4 tons of Iranian and Russian gold. Now, domestic experts intend to hold negotiations to supply raw materials from Mongolia. In general, the technological capacity of Kazakh refineries reaches 130 tons of gold.
В этом году мы впервые афинируем золото с Ирана.
This year, for the first time, we refined gold from Iran. Some Iranian companies, which previously refined their gold in the U.S., decided to cooperate with Kazakhstan. This suggests that it is beneficial and effectually to work with us. Just the fact that the National Bank of Kazakhstan purchases gold from our plant says a lot about the quality of our gold, and it means that it complies with the world standards.
Имеет мировой уровень.
By the end of next year, Kazakhstan will launch its own plant for production of ammunition. The Minister of Defense took part in the launch of the construction of the enterprise in the territory of Special Economic Zone Sarerka in Kazakhstan. The plant will produce ammunition of 4 most popular calibers. Until now, there is no plan for the production of small arms ammunition in Kazakhstan, and the current demand of cartridges for the Ministry of Defense is supplied thanks to the reserves created during the Soviet Union period. Negotiations are underway on possible export. More concrete agreement will be reached during the exhibition of arms Kazakh 2016 in June. It was underlined that the plant will use raw materials from Kazakhstan.
Ammunition factory will create a constant demand for the supply of materials and raw materials in the region for many years. Only consumption of brass alloy will allow reviving the work of highly specialized companies in the region. In the form of taxes, even taking into account the SEZ mode, Kazakhstan Ammunition Factory will pay more than 680 million tenge annually to the budget of the region, and it is the most modest forecast.
The first Kazakhstan's van, Gazelle Next, was produced in Semey. By the end of this year, the company plans to assemble 300 such vans. The plant is already contemplating on ways to improve the new model. First of all, experts want to make a 2-door Gazelle, so it would be convenient for the passengers to enter and exit the public transport. The plant will provide a 7-year warranty for its vehicles.
The Gazelle was created specifically for our roads because it has a high clearance, 170 millimeters, height of 2 and 7, the length of 6 meters, and 120 horsepower.
The first ever Kazakh Food Festival was held at the United Nations headquarters. 5 chefs from Astana arrived in New York, especially for the occasion. Every day, these chefs managed to feed thousands of UN staff and delegations of more than 100 countries.
The excitement and anticipation of something special has definitely sparked the interest of the guests of the event. Roasted lamb triggered excitement immediately, and then our masters cooked beshbarmak, kurdak, dumplings, rice, cocktail, hot smoked fish with vegetables, barsaks, fried dough, food, and samsas. Every day, Kazakhstan chefs managed to feed thousands of United Nations workers and delegations from more than 100 countries worldwide.
Way to show something unique in Kazakhstan, which is the food, and to taste very good products that bring us to the soil, that bring us to nature.
Kazakh desserts became exotic. Zhent, Kospa, Iremshik, Kurt, Chak-Chak have been tasted for the first time. The UN Secretary Council members enjoyed the food as well. The dishes are delicious, but it seems to me that our Kazakh friends pursue political and diplomatic interests rather than catering. In fact, Kazakhstan's campaign for non-permanent member of the UN Security Council is very vigorous and healthy, and at the same time fun and exciting. I think this is the key to success, and we would like to hope so. Kazakh chefs held a masterclass for the diplomatic corps and shared the secrets of cooking national dishes during the Kazakh Food Festival.
Kazakhstan's tourism potential was presented in Germany during the ITB International Exhibition, which is the largest platform of the world's leisure industry. This year it involved 187 countries.
Kazakhstan's stand is traditionally one of the most visited at the ITB Tourism Fair in Germany. National dances, which are considered exotic, as well as treats, greatly impress foreigners. Kazakh candies and barsaks have long been loved by Europeans. Kazakhstani handmade is highly appreciated by the foreign guests. For Aygul Janserikova, felting is not just a hobby. She has been engaged in the revival of the ancient Kazakh craft for many years. I really want to visit Kazakhstan, and I hope my dream will come true soon. I know that the nature is amazing there. There are steppes and mountains. Every year I attend the ITB and always visit Kazakhstan's stand. I'm interested in the culture and like national crafts. Kazakhstan has become recognizable also due to the Project Expo 2017. An international specialized exhibition in Astana became one of the main themes to discuss at the 6th meeting of the Silk Road Ministers. Kazakhstan delegation at this conference clearly presented the process of preparation for the expo. The scale of construction is amazing. I believe this is a chance for Kazakhstan to show that your country follows the latest innovations in ecology. Renewable energy sources are the future. I'm confident that Expo will attract even more tourists to Kazakhstan. In total this year, 10,000 participants from 187 countries attended the international fair. It is expected that in the coming week, exhibition pavilions in Berlin will be visited by more than 100,000 people.
The final stage of construction of the new passenger terminal has finished at the Astana International Airport. Elevator shafts and stairwells are already installed. Installation of metal structures and floors is underway. It was decided to expand the capital's airport ahead of the international exhibition Expo 2017. The total area of the new terminal would be 40,000 square meters with an annual capacity of more than 7 million passengers. During rush hours, the waiting rooms will accommodate up to 2,500 passengers. Training flights were held on new generation aircraft Su-30SM at Taldykurgan Air Base. It was the first flight for young pilots aboard the new military aircraft.
You're always nervous before the flight, but during the flight you become impressed, you have fun. You take off, then do pilotages. This kind of combat aircraft is very agile and specifications too, and the aircraft thrust is bigger. Su-30SM arrived in Taldykurgan Air Base last year. Now there are 4 new fighter aircrafts. It is expected that the aircraft fleet will be replenished with 2 more this year.
Они намного лучше предшественников, так как прицельный комплекс улучшен, вооружение.
They are much better than their predecessors because of improved sighting system, weapons, aircraft performance, and aerodynamic performance. The aircraft can do super maneuvers that their predecessors could not do. Pilots will still use even the older model Su-27 and MiGs. They are sent to the upgrade one by one. However, not only planes undergo the reconstruction. Runway was also improved after the reconstruction. The airport is able to receive all types of aircraft, including freight aircraft. According to the airbase, command training of personnel is carried out at the highest level. Each pilot does 80 flight hours on average per year, which is one of the highest rates in the CIS.
These were the main news for the past week on Kazakh TV. You're watching the news summary from Kazakhstan, my home country. I'm Joly. I'll see you later. Have a good and productive week. Goodbye.